Hi, everybody.
Hey,
It's Christine and Tina at Ladies of the Lanai. I'm Christine,
I'm Tina,
and we're back on the Lanai.
and it's hot
It's hot,
and steamy.
but we said we're Ladies of the Lanai, so here we are.
So if my glasses steam up, you know why.
I know, right? So today we're bringing you a Villages Buzz. So we're going to be telling you all about some upcoming events and happenings in and around the villages. And before we get into that, we just want to remind you that please make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. If you don't know how, put it in the comments below, and we'll send you a little note how exactly to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
So one of the big things is that Citizens Bank opened up in Eastport. We were both super excited about that. But it just means, again, that things are happening in Eastport.
Yep.
Right. And there's a lot of construction, I feel like, going on there. Like we see a lot of stuff happening there, and you're kind of like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And speaking of construction, you may have the answer to this, but it's Laurel Oak, right? The executive.
Yeah.
Like they're not saying anything, but there is something going on there.
Yeah, there's something going on. Well, Laurel Oak is part of the Southern Oaks, course, sort of like umbrella of courses. And, Southern Oaks, Laurel Oak, Live Oak, and Mickey Lee. We knew May 27th it was going to be closed. And they told us that it was going to be closed through the month of June, give or take.
Oh.
Only because depending on how construction.
But when you make a tea time, it doesn't kick it out, because I have it in when I do my girlfriends on Mondays, like it's in my request, and usually when something's not available, it kicks it out.
But anyway, we don't know exactly what's going on. Obviously, there's cement trucks there. There's people, there's pipes. And that's what we know, some sort of underground work with pipes and cement. And the road was had the cones for a while, and there were trucks right near McNeil Drive. Those are gone. Most of the work seems to be like on the other side of that lake that is by hole number
You see it
6.
when you go over the bridge. I took a picture, so hopefully it'll be right here.
Yeah. Yeah. So far it's slated to be closed for the whole month of June.
All right. Another delightful, I'm sure, store coming is Twisty Treat Ice Cream is coming to Pinella's.
Soft serve.
Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, it's like a soft serve,
like a Dairy Queen.
Or I would call it like a Carvel, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's exciting. Don't take it outside on a day like today.
I know it'll melt right.
It'll just
melt right away.
Soup.
Target. You had said, did you see some?
Yeah, the Target. It's over by Lowe's, over by Trailwinds Plaza.
Yes.
So I did see some signs that, really quickly it looked like it said we're hiring. So that should be, I'm sure it's going to be for the holiday season for sure.
Well, near there, in that also where Lake Deaton is where Hooters is going to be.
Lake Deaton is where Hooters is going to be. We did see the sign for that.
Yeah, and it is coming. So
not a joke.
I'll also see if I have the sign, the picture to put up there. But there's been a lot of talk on like the different boards and stuff about if it's going to open or not open because of the bankruptcy. But apparently that village's location is owned by a separate entity, HMC Hospitality Group, and it's not part of you can rest assured for your wings, it's not part of the bankruptcy filing, and they indicated that they plan to open up 3 villages locations.
That's crazy.
So
that they must know something we don't know. But
that villagers really love their wings.
Yeah, the villagers really love their wings, and maybe they'll be hiring senior citizen.
It will be interesting. Girls, it'll be interesting.
Or Hooter boys.
Oh, I'd like a Hooter boy.
I'd like a Hooter boy.
Okay.
But what I heard
Can we start a
Hooters is it's the corporate side that's filing for bankruptcy, and the franchises they can live on.
Yeah. Walmart, they're estimating the opening is early 2026. That's the one on 44 and Morse.
Mm-hmm.
And that the contractors are expected to start working on July 21st, and that their work will be done by completed in February. So that's moving super fast.
Yeah, they're doing the work. The building is at least the shell looks like it's pretty much up.
Are you a Wayfair? Do you like to order stuff from Wayfair? Mm-hmm. Apparently there's a Wayfair outlet that opened up in Orlando just this past week.
Okay.
And I bet there's all kinds of treasures you can find.
I hope they deliver.
That I don't know.
I wonder if they
Do
deliver.
outlet stores deliver?
Not really.
Everything comes in like a teeny tiny box, and you have to put it all together.
Put it all together. Yeah, I know that the Babette's outlet store that's next to the Home Depot in Leesburg, you know, it's not near the real stores. They'll deliver, even though it's an outlet store. It's like things that people return, and usually it's because they don't fit. Because I've gone there. It's open the first Saturday of the month, and everything's beautiful, but way marked down. But anyway, hopefully they deliver.
I need to get some Lanai furniture. Maybe I'll go to Babette's outlet one day.
Yeah, you need to. She got a much bigger Lanai now, so you need stuff.
But I that this is like rinky dinky. I actually put it together myself, which is why I say like this sofa kind of slants. You might slide off if you sat on it. There's a new band called Daisy Fever. Have you heard of that one?
Daisy Fever?
Yeah. And they're Orlando based. It's music that goes from Woodstock to the disco era.
Oh.
And one of the guys who was in Relic, the guitarist Zach Van Meter, who everybody loved and called him a shredder, he's in that band, and they will be playing at Sawgrass on Thursday, June 26th.
Oh.
So you can check them out. And I think they dress kind of like in costume, like
of the era.
Yeah, of the era.
Oh, that's cool.
So that'll be
That's
fun.
our time.
That's our time. By the time this airs, this will have already happened. But Middleton, when we interviewed Joe and his uncle the other week, he talked about a Middleton Mingle. And so they're having a Middleton Mingle this Friday the 13th, and it's celebrating dads and community and the start of the summer. But the exciting news for us is that they're also going to have music. So they're going to have cable cars, but it's just another place that's doing live music,
free entertainment.
And they'll have some food trucks, but they'll also have things from like there's Victory, and their stage is right across from where the Victory Bar is. But they'll have stuff from them and from the places that we also went to, Provisions and Mustard Seed. So you can get to know.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do it again and again. I know this is not going to get up in time, but sounds great.
Yeah. So I think it'll just be interesting to see how that goes. I joined the Fit Club. The Fit Club here have a special during the summer for 3 months. It's $99 for June, July, and August.
Yeah.
And it's some of the rec centers have it, but it's basically a room. It's a weight room, and they have treadmills and some ellipticals, but it's a little bit more than what a regular rec room has. So I figured I would take advantage of it. And I joined with my friend Rachel. And so we've been going in the morning, going on the treadmill.
So for sure that's at a Zell.
Yes. And I think Fenny.
Yep, I think Fenny has a gym.
And I want to say Seabird, but I don't know. I may have to look and see. But it's like a handful.
Yeah, so it's like you can get to the gym without going all the way to Genesis or something like that, and just be local. 3 months for $99 is a good deal. And, you know, it's hot out, so it's something you can do inside and still work out a little bit. Good deal.
Where did you get your sign for the front of your house on your lamppost?
I got that when we closed on the house from our realtor, Nellie.
Was it the Signs by Jackie?
Yes.
I did that too. Well, apparently Bob Martin bought Signs by Jackie at the end of May, and they will honor the Signs by Jackie gift certificates. But I haven't gotten anything for this house, but I also got it for my other one, but it took like 4 months to get
4 months?
Yeah, it took forever.
I know mine took a while, but I don't think it was that long. But too bad. But maybe he's going to be quicker. Maybe he has more facility.
I think I wrote a question on one of the boards and nobody answered, so I don't know.
He was too busy.
It could be. So this is also for the Costco, not necessarily just our Costco, but they've been testing and checking out new checkout technology. So they hope it'll speed up the process. And then in their third quarter earnings call, they said they've engaged a scan and go kind of test. So this could be important for all the people who are waiting for the Costco to open up. What is it, Buffalo Ridge up there?
Yes, that's Buffalo Ridge,
and that they're focusing to help the members check out and make it a fun front end and faster pace.
Yeah, because there is often a line when you go check out at Costco.
But they said to be on the lookout for some new things they're piloting. So we'll see. Because have you ever gone to an Amazon store they had this in New York on Long Island, where you didn't go through a checkout line. They have all these cameras or scanners above you, and everything you put in your cart, it knew.
Wow.
And when you walk through to leave,
It tells you.
It sends you your bill.
Crazy. It sends you the bill, like to your.
Yeah, it automatically charges your card.
Automatically.
But they say, like, if I picked this up and then I walk down and I say, oh, you know what, I don't want it, you have to put it back exactly where you found it. So I don't know. I wonder if that's going to be one of the things. You never know.
Yeah.
There's another new coffee place opened up in Spanish Springs. It took the place of the old Dunkin' Donuts. It's the CFS, Coffee for the Soul. That it just opened the beginning of June, and it's Colombian coffee with like some pastries and bowls and
like savory foods too, like arepas and burritos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Breakfast burritos. It looked really good.
Yeah, and I think if I was up there, I would definitely check them out.
I definitely want to check it out because it's something with a little bit of flair. Right. It looks like, not the standard fare.
A little different.
A little different. A little spice.
Also, there's a club called Village Grillers and Smokers Club that's held on the second Wednesday of the month at Eisenhower from 9 to 11. And they talk about all different kinds of ways of cooking, grilling. So now that it's summer, I don't know, is Paul a griller?
I usually do all the cooking, and he does with regard to food. Yeah, I do all the cooking. I do most.
And grilling?
Yep.
Oh, you're a grill master.
No, I just like to cook. And I don't like anybody in my kitchen.
Oh, okay. Another big news is that the Morris family is selling off Citizens First Bank. So there's a lot of talk about that.
And
Seacoast National Bank is going to be acquiring them. Citizens, the fourth largest bank in Florida, and it has over $4 billion in assets. And all of the Citizen Bank locations will be converted to Seacoast National Bank, but that's not expected to happen until May of next year. So right now you don't have to, but I have accounts there and I'm like, oh, am I gonna have to change all my auto pay and blah, blah, blah. But some people are saying that, part of the, like, why are they doing this? That, maybe one of the reasons is to help them refocus back just on developing, which is what that's the line that they, was stated when the golf and tennis was part of the village's land trust company, or those, we call it the villages, but it was the land trust company was the name of the employer. When an October ago, it went to the district. So in other words, it went to the government. So they sort of turned it over or sold it or whatever to the government. And that's what they told us, was that they wanted to spend more of their energies on development. Yeah. In other words, building homes. Maybe that's why Eastport's going along much faster.
Maybe.
And speaking of the government, they're going to phase out the penny.
We were just talking about that today because somebody paid me with some pennies.
Oh, did you say got to get rid of them?
And then he was from Canada, and he said that you can't even use a Canadian penny.
My brother,
you can't. It's worthless for a currency.
My older brother several years ago had a whole thing about pennies, and I don't know. I think Australia is the same, perhaps, but he was saying the whole thing, the same reasons that they're saying now, that it costs more to mint it than to
makes sense.
So I guess they'll be phasing that out. There is also a $4 million treehouse resort that's scheduled to be built in Sumter County later this year on Country Road 766 in Webster. It's called the Blissful Getaway Treehouse. It'll have 10 residential units. Amenities that are scheduled to be included are a swimming pool, a bathhouse, a dog park, pickleball court, and it'll range in size from 400 to 960 square feet, and the prices will range from $310 to $510 a night. And it's going to be a place for serenity, peace, and relaxation.
Or girls weekend.
It could be. It sounds.
I think it says
very
girls
interesting.
Weekend.
Except I need to see exactly what kind of treehouse are they talking about.
There's only 10 units.
That's what it says.
Huh.
We'll see.
Interesting.
The Villages, I think, has been really good, again, about sending out little video clips of what's happening, and they've done that more, you know, going back to Eastport, they showed them bringing in the statues that they're going to have there.
Yes.
And then also the covering on the where the outdoor venue is going to be kind of like sawgrass, where it's tarpy,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So they showed them putting that up, and that's exciting. We'll put a link to that video in here. But
Yeah.
again, I feel like things are happening, and maybe they'll start, you know, once they, I was like, bring on the music. That's what we want down
The
here.
tarps are nice because not only they look pretty, but it gives you some shade.
Right.
So when you're outside
This is hot
listening,
because see, I'm glistening, as my
it's good for your skin though.
my friend would say. Another video they put out is the rock climbing wall.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting. I put in like our Water's Edge group, like who's going to be the first to, you know.
The orthopedic surgeons are salivating.
I'll get on like the first or second rung and I'll be like, can I come back down?
No, I'm sure it'll be a big hit.
We had talked about some people from one of the other videos we did when Gina and her mom were on here. She talked about going to Disney, and Krista Joy does some like Disney groups. I'm going to put the links because she has Disney Days with Krista, because people couldn't find her Facebook page.
Yeah, we got a lot of people saying, how do I join that group? How do I contact her? And it wasn't easy. Yeah, we couldn't figure it out either.
Right.
We're pretty social media savvy. We couldn't figure it out, but great.
She sent us the link. So we'll have it there for you.
Yep.
And then we also have some pictures with some of our viewers, which we're going to put at the end of the thing here.
I'm sure they're going to
Christine's much better with having everybody's name. I'm just like, hey, you want to take a picture? And then I don't have the name down. And then the last thing I have, and we can go on to more of your golf news, is that you got fitted for new golf clubs.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in my golf news.
Okay, and then I'm hoping to also get fitted for golf clubs because I just turned 60, and all my friends chipped in together, all my friends, and gave me funds to hopefully buy a new set of clubs, because all of mine are a mishmash of used clubs.
Which is what you do when you first are learning. You don't even know if you're going to like golf.
Right.
And what did you decide?
I have to still do it. But I know one time I went and I went with Ping. And I remember I used their 7-iron, and it was like, but I didn't get it because it was more expensive. I went for the cheaper one. I think it was Tour Edge or something, but I think I want to get Ping. That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
But I still have to go through all that process. But how was your
I'm
fitting?
going to just do the buzz with regards to golf specifically, and I'll just start with the fitting days. We talked about it a few times. Like every month they announce new days when you can go to, you call first to make an appointment, but you go to Sarasota when certain manufacturers are there. I just decided to go with Callaway. I think Ping is probably
should I do that?
More expensive.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe ask your Billy Speckman,
Billy
your
Speckman? Okay.
your coach, your teacher. What does he think would be good for you?
That's a
if
good
he has
idea.
any opinion, and then maybe, and you can go
And
on
I'm
2
a lefty.
days. Yeah, and you can go on 2 days. You can go on Ping one day, and you make the reservation. You pay the $25, and they'll, you see how you like those clubs, and then you can go to, say, Callaway on a different day and pay the $25 and try their clubs, and then you have $50 you can use towards when you make a purchase. So that's we have some people in the backyard measuring, but they're gone now. So yeah, I did go in May. I went to Callaway, and this is how it went. First, he took the irons. He started with the irons, and I used the 7-iron, and then use your 7-iron, and then he said to me, you know what, you're not getting anything extra out of the 7-iron, so we want to see you get 5 or 10 more yards, and then we can talk about buying new irons. You're not getting extra. I wouldn't recommend you get new irons.
You don't have to get the whole set.
No, you can get just a driver, just a 3-wood, just a driver and a 3-wood. You could just get just hybrids. You can get just irons. You can get just wedges, and so on down the line. So he said, I was very impressed that right off the bat, he was turning away a sale, saying, you don't need irons. So I automatically trusted him, and I thought he was great. I felt like I was a super professional fitter. Now they don't teach you how to swing. You know, that's up to your swing coach or your coach. They're just seeing what length club you need, what shape head is right for you, what shaft weight is right for you. That's what their job is. So then we went to.
Sorry, I have to take my glasses because they're sliding off.
I know. Then we went to hybrids because we went to match with what I had. So I had a full set of irons. He said, you don't need irons. Then I had a 4 and a 5 hybrid, and I hit what he had, and I was hitting them further, like a good 10 yards further. And we made some adjustments back and forth. He wound up recommending that I get a certain weight shaft, and he recommended that I take a half an inch off of standard. So like I'm only 5'2" and a half. So I've asked around, do I need petite? And he said, no, you don't need petite, but I would take a half an inch off standard. Petite would be a whole inch off standard. You might be petite, but that's another thing that when you get fitted that they can really hone in on for you. So I wound up, long story short, I wound up getting 4 or 5 hybrid, driver 3-wood, and a sand wedge. And the irons and my pitching wedge, they kind of all match. So I'm keeping my own. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clubs.
Nice.
And I recommend it. It was really a good experience. We were able to trade in
really
my clubs. They have to have a value.
I was going to say, does it matter what they look like?
Yeah. You might have, just see, they give you the website, say what the trade-in value is. So you could trade in your old clubs or maybe, whatever you want to keep them for guests. They came in about, I would say, a week to 10 days. We just got them today.
Oh,
I haven't used them yet. I'm very excited. So it was a great experience. So steps up, you call Sarasota. We'll put the link so you can see which manufacturer is there.
And they're continuously coming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there were the time I went last year, they had like 10 different.
That might have been
like a golf day, whatever they
event.
Call
it. Yeah, when they were all there. Mm-hmm. And then call them first. Look and see who you want to go to. We'll put the link in the description. Call Sarasota, make a reservation, and then you go. And if you don't want to buy anything, you don't have to buy anything. You're out $25. And bring your clubs with you because you're going to measure up how you do. Because you're hitting balls that go into the water, and they're floater balls so that they can retrieve them. So they don't really react the same way a real ball would react. So they're doing just for what that's worth.
Okay.
So that's fitting days. We talked about Laurel Oak being closed. Did you know Lopez Legacy right now, if you make a tee time, it's no points?
I saw something, but that's championship?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Lopez is championship. So there's no points.
Are you playing there a lot now?
I play championship at least.
No, but I mean there Lopez? Because there's no points.
No. I mean, it's kind of good to know for some people who play on leagues, and your league is very sensitive to how many points everybody has, because that works into how you can get tee times.
That definitely happens with my Monday group, but my Saturday group, we're in a summer league, and you still get points, but we have a guaranteed, like from June through September, we're guaranteed. We already know what courses we're playing throughout the whole summer.
Yeah, because you're guaranteeing them that you have 32 golfers.
Yes.
So they'll. So she's melting. We're both melting.
I'm like.
We didn't even put the fan on.
We should have.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so that's if you cancel or you do a no-show, you're going to get the cancel points. So don't just make tee times willy-nilly and think you're good to go. Havana, that we've talked about before, is undergoing renovations for all 3 of the 9s. But they're reminding everybody, please still come in and eat. I think it's one of the best.
It is. I do like Havana.
Golf country club restaurants. Yeah. So you're reminded the restaurant's still open.
How long are they just closed for the month, or do they long? Do you know?
I don't know.
And I know some people who love their courses a lot. Their golf course.
I love Havana.
Yeah,
I love Havana. I think Kilimanjaro. I think I might have said it before, but Kilimanjaro number 9 is probably my favorite hole because it's beautiful, way downhill. The water's on the right. The clubhouse is over there. You see the giant bulkhead, with plant. It's really pretty. I love it. I
So
love
maybe
it.
when it opens, we'll do it with the girls. That'll be
Yeah.
my first championship.
Yeah, we're gonna take Tina out on championship, and on her first time, we're gonna record that, right? Okay. Just reminding you, we've talked about it before, but Good Golf School, every single month they have another rollout of classes, and that's really good, especially to teach you how to use the tee time system to your advantage. You know, how your play history. We talked about points, how that affects your tee times, and how the system awards requests and tee times. So we'll put the link in below. You don't have to be new to golf. If you've been here and you just never went to Good Golf School, you should consider going.
And also how the Villages does Ready Golf, which I guess is not, it's not the same as other places, right? Or is it?
It's a basic theory that says you don't necessarily wait for whose ball is the furthest out. Like if that person who's the furthest out on the green, or even where to chip from, is the furthest, and you're already at your ball on the green, you don't necessarily wait for them to go because you're ready. So that's part of Ready Golf. And then also part of Ready Golf is
there's a lot of people playing golf behind you.
Yeah, people playing golf.
Keep
So
it
you gotta
moving.
move it along, play in the 2 hours and 6 minutes or whatever that course says. And also, like, you don't have to, when it comes to the tee box, you don't have to wait for whoever, oh, you got a birdie, so you go first, so I'll wait for you to go. No, it's whoever's ready, whoever has their club, whoever's ready to go, that person tees off first.
That's how we play.
So that just sort of helps move it along. This is none of this, should I play? You want to play? No, you go. Yeah, just whoever's ready, just go. So anyway, they teach you that at Good Golf School. A hydration reminder, it is getting super hot. My personal opinion, water is great, but it's not enough.
This is Gatorade Zero.
You need to have some sort of hydration, whether it's a Gatorade Zero, some kind of electrolyte drink, or whatever you and your medical professional
because you said there have been
you
people who like pass out on the golf courses.
People do pass out on the golf courses. If you start feeling dizzy or over flushed or anything like that, it's time to stop because you don't want to get dehydration. That's a whole ball of wax. And if you do feel that way, or your playing partner looks like they're succumbing to dehydration, call 911. You'll tell them where you are. You'll say, I'm on number 5 fairway. They don't know where that is. Okay, so call 911 first, but then you got to call the golf. You look on your card, your scorecard, and it'll have the phone number for the golf course that you're playing at. You call them and you tell them where you are, and they have this sort of matrix that says if you're on fairway number 5, that means you are near, and they'll say the street address that is nearest to that spot. And so the
truck knows where to go.
The truck knows what street to drive up,
right?
What,
because they can't just go to the starter shack.
People's house to drive through to get to you sooner. If they could go to the starter shack, it would take so much longer.
Right.
It would cause a scene. Anyway, 911, call the golf shop, stay where you are. But also drink more than water right now because it's so hot. So that's enough of that. And I have a do you know?
Oh.
Do you know? So I have a picture. We're going to put it up on the screen, and it is a solo rider. Did you know what a solo rider is?
No.
So a solo rider is,
I'm guessing, is it a golf? Is it a bicycle? Is it what is it?
It's a golf vehicle that is especially for people who are have some kind of disability. They can't walk very well or at all. But they still want to play golf. So it is a vehicle that requires no foot pedals. It's all by the hands, the brakes, the steering, the gas. It's all by the hands.
Somebody told me about that.
And it allows you to drive. You can even drive in the sand. You're allowed to drive on the green.
Have you seen them?
Yes, I've driven them.
Oh.
I've had to drive them as part of my job.
Really?
And you sit in it, and there's a lever that allows the driver to pivot. And they can get out if they want to, but they don't have to. And the clubs are right in front, so you can pull out your club And if you want to stand up and hit, you can, but you don't have to. You can hit without
Wow.
standing up.
Can you rent them? Can you
So
rent them at
yes,
the
so you rent them when you know you're playing. You call the parent. I call it a parent, but you call the
championship?
championship course where that usually I see them more on the executives and on the pitch and putt.
Hmm.
Tell you a story in a second. And you rent them the day you know the day before or the week before or 2 days before you're going to play. You call Southern Oaks. You say I'm playing Live Oak Pitch and Putt on Wednesday. My tee time is 10 o'clock, and they'll drive it down there for you.
How much is it?
Your friends free.
Oh,
Yep. Your friends
wow.
will get your friends will help you load your. Obviously, you're going to have somebody with you because I've seen the golfers usually their friend will pick the ball up out of the cup for them. That's
Wow.
about it.
That's amazing.
So the story is today I'm working at Live Oak Pitch and Putt, and I get a call. Hello, I'm on hole number 4, and the guy ahead of me is in some kind of vehicle driving on the green. I was like, that's a solo rider. He's disabled and he's allowed.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's free. Yeah,
That's
they have
amazing.
them at every championship.
Really?
And they will drive them to Mickey Lee, like Southern Oaks. They'll drive it to Mickey Lee, Live Oak, Laurel Oak, and same thing. If you wanted to play Turtle Mound or Sand Hill, for example, or Truman or Roosevelt, they belong to Havana. So you would call Havana. They'll bring it down when your tee time is. Do it ahead of time for the next day or so.
Interesting.
And that's it. It's great, isn't it?
Yes.
More goodies about the villages.
I think that's all I have.
That's all I have. So, yep, that's our Villages Buzz for now. I hope you enjoyed what Tina and I bring to you. So, we really appreciate to get your likes and subscribes and shares to others, and send us a love back that way. We love it. So, for now, until next time,
We'll see you out on the Lanai.
see you on the line. Bye.
Bye.